Just smile and say hello. Say hello, then wave goodbye. Say hello, then wave goodbye. Say hello, then wave goodbye.
Happy Sunday, Oaklawn race fans. We come to you off a very good Friday and Saturday. And don't forget, we return live racing on Thursday as we wrap up our final week in racing. It's so bittersweet. Coming in this morning, I saw like 3 big vans leaving. So all going on to their next destination.
Yeah. Bittersweet.
It is bittersweet, but we always look forward to the fall when they all come back right here. So it's good. That's a good thing. Let's take a quick look at our weather page. It's a little bit cloudy outside, but we're looking currently at 67 degrees. We are going to start out with a muddy track. Matt, I did not handicap for an off track. I didn't even realize it was supposed to rain last night. Winds out of the east at 5 miles per hour and partly sunny. I will take that over partly cloudy any day. We come off a very good Saturday of racing as we did have a couple doubles and a great day for jockey Abel Cedillo. He had that good luck charm with the new baby and got that victory in the stakes, his first Oaklawn Stakes win. So let's take a look at our news page. Manny Escobar with a riding double. And how about Ricardo Santana, just 1 win away from 2,000 career victories, a major milestone. I know he'll be ecstatic to collect that here in Hot Springs. Majestic Oops scored the 9-1 upset in the Digga Diamond Stakes yesterday. Trainer Dan Ward and Abel Cedillo getting that victory, and Cantex is hoping to repeat today in the Natural State Breeders Stakes. And today is Discount Day. What a great weekend. We had Fan Appreciation Day yesterday, Discount Day today, and Thursday racing. First post of 12:30, and mark your calendars, noon first post for Friday and Saturday for our closing days. And you can watch and wager on the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby. And speaking of those, closing day, actually, Craft Beer Festival, Bago Championship Wine, Place, and Show. And, of course, the world-famous Budweiser Clydesdales. Looking very forward to seeing those. It's always great to see them up close and personal. Last night, Matt, in Louisville, they had the draw for the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby. Oaklawn well represented, so let's take a quick look at the Kentucky Oaks contenders.
As they swing up the backstretch in the fantasy, the undefeated Simply Joking leads by a neck. It's a match race coming off the turn between Simply Joking and Quiet Side. Simply Joking, Jaime Torres on the inside. Simply Joking, resilient from the rail. Simply Joking second, and they're off. Quick Kick going steady. They're in midfield together. They're about 8 lengths off the lead as they start to sort themselves out. Quick Kick begins a rally. She claims the 6th position from a few rivals. She's on the rail but set the log. Now 8 or 9 lengths behind. 5G from the far outside post, rocketing towards the lead. And the pace is being held by 5G and Irad Ortiz Jr. as they come to the top of the lane. 5G shake it up. Mohima on the outside in second. Now she's losing that position to 5G. Julian Leperoux has Take Charge My Lady in the 4th position. Now Take Charge My Lady's making an early move. Take Charge My Lady puts away Quiet Side getting to the rail. Take Charge My Lady with a 16th to go. She's coasting down the lane, and she will pick up some Kentucky Oaks points in the Martha Washington. Quiet Side, the bridesmaid no longer in the graded stakes rankings, wins the Honeybee. Quiet Side digging in. She's got a half-length lead, and she has the fantasy victory. Quiet Side off to the Kentucky Oaks after back-to-back wins here at Oaklawn.
Love to see Oaklawn very well represented, and but the morning line favorite goes to Good Cheer at 6-5. I love the fact that we have almost half the field, Matt, from Oaklawn contenders. What are your thoughts about Quiet Side drawing the far four out team? Well, you know what I mean.
The far outside 14 post, which is undesirable for sure. That's not, you don't win the post position draw for sure with Quiet Side if you like her. It might help your value a little bit. I think some people might steer away from that. I think she's got a great chance to win the race, but with that post, it's not going to be easy. We've seen fillies do it, but you got to run really hard, and Jose Ortiz, who's got speed with this filly, he's going to have to send her out of there, get a good break, and try to work something out.
Yeah, and certainly not give her too much to do. But yeah, very excited. Oaklawn well represented. Certainly be rooting for the home team. But you know that race will be contested on Friday on Kentucky Oaks Day, and then Saturday, the big day. And we are very excited to have Oaklawn well represented in the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby. So let's take a look at our contenders.
And Blair off in the Southwest. American Promise tugging a little bit on the outside, claiming second. American Promise, though, he's turning up the pressure. And these two hook up into the far turn run, and they soar away from the rest of the group. They're off in the 89th Arkansas Derby. Slow break from the maiden. Publisher, and Publisher trying to break his maiden in the Arkansas Derby. Publisher, the only threat to beat him. Sandman, he's green. Publisher is second. And Blair off in the Southwest. Tistastic to the outside. Tistastic, Patch Adams, third and fourth. And Blair off in the Rebel. Tistastic to the inside. And for the Lonnie Briley barn, it's Cole Battle in the Smarty Jones. Cole Battle, 16th left for the Rebel Stakes win. Cole Battle, the story continues. Cole Battle does it. It's the Rebel in the Arkansas Derby. Sandman, he's run his A race, and he gets a confidence booster heading to Kentucky. Sandman does it for Mark Cassie and Jose Ortiz. Win the Arkansas Derby.
And there's a field of the 20 runners in the 151st Kentucky Derby, and some pretty good odds. As you can see, American Promise at 30-1. And Journalism is the 3-1 morning line favorite. And Matt, what do you think about our two top contenders, Cole Battle and Sandman? They break right next to each other, kind of further to the outside.
They do. I mean, Sandman and Cole Battle on the 16 and 17 hole. You don't want to be parked too far out. We've seen horses win from way outside, but this is good for them. I think those are good post positions. You know, usually if you're in the 14 hole going a mile, it's not a good thing. But going 16 and 17, a mile and a quarter, isn't such a bad thing. So post position wise, I think both are drawn very well.
And you just said a very interesting stat in regards to Publisher. The maiden for Steve Asmussen is going into the starting gate.
Yes, a maiden, and he is the 13th maiden in the history of the Kentucky Derby. So when you think about that, there have been 100 now to be 151 runnings of the Kentucky Derby. There's not a lot of maidens.
That's very interesting. Yeah, and especially you don't see that because of, especially now with the point system that is set in place. So it'll be very interesting, and it's kind of cool to see all of our runners kind of collected together, if you will, towards the far outside of the starting gate. But do you have top picks yet?
I'm getting there. I like Journalism. I think he's the best horse, and I think if he gets a good trip, I think he's going to show it. But I also think Final Gambit is a very interesting horse for the Brad Cox barn at 30-1 on the morning line. I don't think we're going to get that, but you're still going to get a price, and I think this horse will like the dirt. He's going in the right direction. Broke his maiden 2 starts ago, just like Sandman, a son of Tappet that's sort of figuring things out. So I like both of them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. All of them will face a field of 20 for the first time in their careers, many testing a mile and a quarter for the first time as well. I haven't looked at the forecast for Friday and Saturday in Louisville, but I'm hoping they get sunny skies. They didn't get that last year.
It sounds like they might get a little rain Friday morning, early Friday morning, but it looks clear Friday and Saturday afternoon to this point.
Good, good. And it looks like beautiful weather here also for closing weekend. So fingers crossed that does stay on the forecast. We do have 10 races on the Sunday program here on Discount Day. So let's go ahead and get started, as race number 1 is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. The claiming price is $12,500, and this is non-winners of 3 or non-winners of a race since December 5th, which was opening day. They are set to go 6 furlongs, and Matt, once again, you and I thinking a lot alike throughout the remainder of the card.
All right. Well, we got lucky a few times yesterday, so hopefully that trend can continue today. End of Innocence is my pick in here off a 3-length win last time out. Dueled in the lead, just kept going 6 furlongs. I think from the rail, Keith Asmussen's going to have to try to get a good trip for this horse, the same type of trip. Although it's a little bit of an interesting scenario because Chipotle Pepper very much a need the lead type of filly. So with that in mind, it could get a little bit dicey if you go too fast on the inside, but at the same time, you also have to commit down in there where you want to be early in the race. So we'll see. But her best races are close to the pace.
Yeah, my top selection is End of Innocence as well. The Steve Asmussen barn been on just not a cold streak, but a lukewarm streak, I'll say, or a little bit chilly. But I do think the End of Innocence is going to be the one to snap that. So looking for the first win of the weekend. And I totally agree. Looks to be a duel with Chipotle Pepper, but I think they're going to just have to establish that position from the bell. Race number 2 is for 3-year-olds and up. Claiming price is $10,000. Arkansas breds in for $12,500. Non-2 set to go 6 furlongs in distance, and we have a field of 9 scratching the number 1 Rewire as we start the first leg of the 50-cent pick 4.
Yes, and a la carte inherits the inside post, 7-5 here on the morning line. Steve's got a lot of horses, and the fact of the matter is he can run all over the country in any type of condition he wants with this gelding, and off a layoff he's in for $10,000. That's suspicious to me because this horse has run against a lot tougher. So that's sort of tip in the hand that maybe he sees this horse off a layoff, a year layoff, as one that isn't what he was last year. So with that in mind, off the break, I'm going to try to beat this horse. I think he's very beatable. I went with number 6, Hey Ya Look At Me, the other Asmussen entrant in the race. An Arky bred facing open company here, but last time out, he was a little bit too tough. He's in for 12-5 non-2 today, which is a much better spot. He broke his maiden for state bred, maiden 50. If he runs back to that, I think he's got a decent enough chance to beat open company today.
Yeah, I'm with Hey Ya Look At Me as well. That drop was just a little bit too suspicious, like you said to me. Races third off the layoff, where the barn is a very sharp 18%, and with that nice natural speed that this 4-year-old has, certainly could be the one to catch. And I've got a friend who his handicapping angle is when there's a trainer with 2 horses in the same race, he'll take the higher odds one. It's amazing how many times that actually plays out.
I think it happens more often than you might anticipate. And, they're both in the race for a reason.
Exactly.
So just because one's super bad. I mean, we see that with Bob Baffert all the time. I see his horses
all the time.
Second or third one win.
Race number 3 is non-winners of 2 for the claim price of $22,500, and they're going to go 1 mile and a 16th in distance. And we've got a field of 7 set to go to the post, and the morning line favorite is the number 3, Batera, from the barn of Tom Amos, Rafael Bejarano, hoping to close out a successful weekend.
And he's 4 behind Francisco Arrieta and Christian Torres in the jockey standings, and still a tight race for those 3. I think Rafael could have a big day today and could get a lot closer to the aforementioned pair there. My gut tells me this race is a 2-horse race between Batera and Higginsville, and I took Batera. I think he comes out of a stronger race last time, when second to Freddie back for $32,000 non-2 versus Higginsville, who was in for $20 non-2 and ran third. And Rafael Bejarano had the choice, and he chose Batera, and his agent Cody Caudill did as well, it appears. So with that in mind, I am going to hop on the Batera bandwagon.
Yeah, I think Batera's getting closer to the winner's circle and didn't get any advantage last time when breaking from the 10 post position at 1 mile and a 16th. Does get a much more favorable draw this afternoon. So Batera it is for me, and I agree. I think Rafael Bejarano is certainly on tap to have a very good Sunday. Race number 4 is a 4 and up, non-winners of a race since December 31st. So basically non-winners of the year, and they're going to go 5.5 furlongs in distance. Both parts of the entry are set to run, and we had a scratch of the number 5, T. Burns, and the morning line favorite is the number 6, Vulcan. And but Matt, you and I both steered away from the morning line favorite.
Well, and I think it's easy to do just because the recent form of these horses in here isn't great. So you can identify a favorite like Vulcan and say, well, for the value, you're not getting much based on the paper, so let's try to find somebody else. And I picked Midday Image, who is the second choice of this race, so not necessarily a huge bump up in value, but at least this horse ran a good race last time. He was third behind a massive class dropper named Cowan, who I think is better than the average $10,000 claimer. And for $7,500 for Danny Caldwell, and he is an old pro, this horse. Hasn't won in a little while, but at the same time, the others haven't as well. So There you go.
There you
pretty
go.
pretty blunt there.
Pretty blunt, but yeah, I like the fact that this runner did show improvement when joining the barn. First off the claim, second off the claim. The barn is 25% from a semi-small sample size, but again, that was against restricted $10,000 company, and we're going to see a lot of horses getting considerable drops in class as we round out the race meet. So I think this is a very aggressive entry from the barn of Ingrid Mason, who I think as well could have a very good day. She's got a lot of runners in the Sunday program.
And she's had a good meet, too.
She has had a very good meet.
A little slow last year. This year really picked it up.
Definitely so. Race number 5 is for the fillies and mares, $10,000 purchase price. Nominators of 2 races since December 5th. So nominators of 2 at the meeting, you could say. And this is set to go a mile and a 16th. Did have a scratch of the number 3, Saranac Lake, and the morning line favorite, Blaze On, from the barn of Abel Ramirez Rodriguez, and our leading rider, Christian Torres, in the irons.
I very much feel this is a race that whoever wins, it's going to be based on who gets the right trip. The fact Saranac Lake scratches really helps a horse like Delphia, who's very much one-dimensional, wants to be on the lead. Whether Little Town Sis, who won gate to wire last time, can press her is a question mark, and if Delphia can get clear, she can win. But I was banking on maybe somebody going out with Delphia, and I landed on Blazon, who comes off a win first off the claim for Abel Ramirez Rodriguez. And this barn, typically they spot aggressively, and once horses win, if they spot them aggressively again, they typically perform again. So that's what I'm hoping here. Really got a good trip last time out under Francisco Arrieta, who coincidentally is not riding. Christian Torres has the call here. Francisco on number 4, Marina's Gold. But Blazon last time out was loaded turning for home, found a seam on the inside and went through it and ended up eventually getting the win. And I think Blazon, if she has that same energy level, can defeat Baby Gundon, my second pick, who's also in this race and was just second best last time.
Yeah, second best last out. Baby Gundon, my top selection, a very well-raced 7-year-old mare. She's very productive at the distance and looks to race from off the pace as she did so 2 back, getting the win against restricted $8,000 company when racing 1 mile in distance. Again, second best last out, just versus slightly tougher. And I do think there is enough speed in this to set up for that nice closing kick down the lane. We'll find out if Ingrid Mason is also going to have a good day as well. But before we get to race number 6, the first leg of the late 50-cent pick 5, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Experience the excitement of horse racing with Oaklawn Anywhere. If you're an Arkansas resident, you can watch and wager on horse racing from around the globe, whether you're at home or on the go, with any smartphone, laptop, or tablet, anytime, anywhere. Download the free Oaklawn Anywhere app and register for a sign-up bonus. With access to past performances, live video, race replays, and expert handicapping data, you're always in the know with no subscription fees. Bet online anytime with Oaklawn Anywhere, exclusively available to Arkansans. Right, Max? Oaklawn Anywhere. Our season never ends. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. Hey Oaklawn, you're just a swipe away from a prize. Every Friday and Sunday of live racing, you can insert your driver's license at the swipe stations located throughout the racing side. Just look for the blinking LED lights at each swipe station and follow the on-screen instructions for a successful swipe. 1 in 3 will win a random prize for free or discounted items, which will be redeemable at the racing gift shop and select concession stands. But that's not all you can win. You can win free race bets of $2, $5, or $10, redeemable at the mutual teller. Don't miss out on this opportunity to win exciting prizes at Oaklawn. Remember, you can't win if you don't swipe.
And they're off in the Natural State Breeders' Stakes. Benny K and Susie too. Cantex on the outside. Cantex, Rafael Bejarano to win it in the Natural State Breeders' Stakes.
All right, back with race number 6, the first leg of the 50-cent pick 5, as this is set to go 1 mile, utilizing that short stretch of Oaklawn's mile run. This is a non-2 allowance for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, as we take a look at the field of 8. Kind of a significant standout in here for me. That's the number 6, Standout Sensation, no pun intended. And Matt, I know that this is your top selection as well.
Well, the reason is because last time out she ran second to Where's My Ring. Ran third in the Grade 1 Apple Blossom. There are no Where's My Rings in this race. 2 starts ago she ran poorly as the favorite at this level. But it was a sloppy surface that day, and she doesn't care for the wet ground. 3 starts ago was second to Miss Hebrides. She's stakes placed. Fun fact, was actually just privately purchased. Actually, no, publicly purchased by the Ron Moquette barn. So we're going to see Miss Hebrides probably here next year with Ron.
Very nice.
Was in the barn of Kenny McPeak, and Kenny did a really good job with her. And 4 starts ago, this gal just narrowly lost to Indy Label, who came right back to run second in a stake. So I just think even though she's been losing at this level, yeah, she's won for 8 seconds. That's not great on the page. But you look at who she's finished behind and who's in today, this is probably the easiest group out of any of the conditions we've seen her at, this condition. So with that in mind, I think this is the type of field that if she wins this condition, it's going to be in this spot. And if she can, either keep running second probably at this level and pick up good checks, or it's time to maybe drop to a non-2 or that's what she would be eligible for at this point.
Yeah, she's made a very good living, though, running second 8 times in those 18 career starts and has produced more than $240,000 in earnings. And that certainly was a key race, exiting the same race as Where's My Ring, but finished 2 placings also in front of Majestic Oops, who did win yesterday's Dig a Diamond Stakes. So even her conditioner, Tom Amos, said she's made a very good living, but he likes the idea of the shorter distance and will hopefully be a breakout race for her. And I definitely see that being the scenario today. As you mentioned, there's no Where's My Rings, there's no Miss Hebrides. So yeah, certainly looks to be the one to beat in race number 6. Race number 7, just one scratch of the inside rail horse. That means a field of 11 for these fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Arkansas breds in for the claiming price of $20,000. Others for $12,500, and they will go 6 furlongs in distance. I'm guessing that first-time starter did not want to break on the rail in the career debut, so be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, unless she re-entered for a closing day, then she'll have to run somewhere else, wherever that may be, on her career debut, and she was going to be high-priced odds anyway, so it doesn't really affect the odds too much. I picked Love Restrained in here. We're flipping our top 2 here, Nancy. Love Restrained, look, this filly, at least she's run against Maiden Special Weight Company and run a couple of good second-place finishes at Presque Isle Downs. So she's in for 12-5 here, first out for Danny Caldwell and Ingrid Mason. I don't really see that as suspicious. The Maiden Special Weights at Presque Isle Downs not nearly as tough as the ones here, so I wouldn't expect her to be competitive in a Maiden Special Weight per se, but in a Maiden Claimer makes a lot more sense. Off a layoff here. She's never run on the dirt, but she's by Into Mischief out of an Include mare. That's a lot of dirt pedigree there, so I would imagine she'll be okay. She's got 4 or 5 furlong works, including a 5 furlong gate drill. So on the page, she's got plenty of foundation to be fit off this break, and she's got a good outside post to get a clear trip for Eduardo Gallardo, who has won a couple of races, and both of them have been with prices, Nancy.
Yeah, they certainly have. I'm going to go with the Tommy Vance contender, the number 5, Call Sadie. Very glad to see Jockey Joseph Bilmer back in the irons. Is one of the most experienced with 5 starts underneath her belt, and also stretched out last go to face a 1 1/16 against Maiden 50, her first time in for the tag. She's going to shorten back up, takes considerable drop in class, which we are seeing that kind of being the trend the last couple of weekends, and certainly will parlay over to next weekend as well. But I think that considerable class drop, and also gets the weight allowance, and Joe was on her back her first 3 starts, I should say. So glad that he gets reunited with her. Race number 8 is for 3-year-olds, maiden claiming $50,000, and they will contest 3/4 of a mile in distance. And a pretty good field of maidens. A couple of first times were just one first-time starter breaking from that rail post, but some professional maidens in here as well.
Yes, we do, and I typically try to stay away from these, Nancy, but I picked World Fair on top in here for Louis Sella, Ron Moquette, and Rafael Bejarano. This runner's been knocking on the door for a win. Has run second in his last 2 tries here for maiden 35. Is in for 50 today, so this is theoretically a bump up in class, but I look at the field here, and I think this horse is the fastest horse in the race, and with that in mind, if he can get a good stocking trip, which I assume he is from the outside post or towards the outside, then I think he's got a really good shot to run well today. I also want to note, Nancy, Jester Sang, number 9. This horse broke through the front of the gate before his last race and ran an okay 4th. We in horse racing know when horses break out of the gate before the race, when they break through it, it's basically the kiss of death.
Yes.
If they were to win, they're much the best. 99% of the time
It's
don't.
not a good thing.
So the fact that this horse ran 4th last time at 6-1 in the same race World Fair ran 2nd in, if he can behave himself this time, I could definitely see some improvement. He's 10-1, so that's my little exacta here in race 8.
All right, I like it. I'm going to go with the number 7, American Litigator. Is 3 years old, but did face a primarily older group on debut against maiden 30 and ran 5th, and was next out for also for maiden 30, and was claimed running a much improved 3rd, was the beaten favorite against straight 3-year-olds. So the blinkers go on today, which is a high percentage move for the barn of Robbie Medina. Also raises 2nd off the claim, but first blinkers with Christian Torres in the iron. So American Litigator does look to race from off the pace. We'll see what happens. Race number 9 is our feature on the afternoon. This is the 4th running of the Natural State Breeders' Stakes, and it is set to go 1 mile in distance, and did have a couple scratches, taking out number 1, Benny K, and Susie 2, also taking out the number 3, She's a Dreamer. They're set to go 1 mile, and we'll see if Cantex can defend her title in today's Natural State Breeders.
Well, I think she can, and last time out, I thought that was simply a setup race to try to get her ready to run in this race here. Off a layoff last time out, this gal here was beaten by about 2 lengths, sat off the pace when keen. Sometimes horses get a bit keen when they're coming off of breaks, especially ones like her that know what they're doing. They know it's race day. They haven't run in a while, and they get really excited. And she just sort of ran a mild 5th, put in a mild run, and it was a good enough effort. But, again, I don't think she was expected to win that day. I think it was just a perfectly good setup race for this one right here. Was in against Open last time out. One thing is, though, she ran poorly over a wet ground race last year. It was also against Starter Allowance Company, Open Company. But that's something to note. I think this is the one race out of all the races on the card. The track condition and the scratch of Benny K and Susie 2 really can affect things here. I thought Cantex looked a lot better over a fast track with Benny K and Susie 2 in the race. Now that Benny K and Susie 2's out, Nancy, Lassie, my girl, I think is going to get a clear lead. And the last time we saw her on a muddy track, she dueled on the lead in a sprint and got a 90 buyer and won by about 10. So I think Lassie, my girl, greatly has a better chance to win this race now, but I'm going to stick with Cantex.
All right, we've got almost 5 hours until our feature, so certainly the track could come up in labeling. All 6 wins are local, including 3 last meet and just 4 starts. Also winning the Down the Dusty Road. In that last race, got away not great and trailed the field, but was able to really motor up and get up for 5th and ran a respectable 5th, beaten just 2 1/4 lengths in distance. Has done well. That race just 15 days ago. There is maybe some concern about a little bit of a bounce, but I think, Matt, you hit the nail on the head. It was just a race to get that condition back in her and just give her a race, so to speak. She's good at the distance, and I'd like to see her break well today, but stretching out, I do like that short stretch of the mile run for her, and Randy Morse looking to have a good Natural State Breeder says he has 3 runners in the field, so very well represented for the Morse barn today.
I'm also excited to see Caliente Star.
I was just going to say that.
Let's take 30 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. Caliente Star is such a cool horse, and this is actually what an ownership from Gemma Lopez. This is her first horse that she's had in training. And to have a horse that is undefeated in 3 starts and also a stakes winner, but she beat Older 2 back against First Level Allowance Company, but is also stretching out to go a route of ground for the first time. And I think that is where that short stretch is really going to help her.
Absolutely. Horses that are trying routing for the first time, the short stretch going a mile, it helps them a bit. This gal certainly has the pedigree to like routing. She's by Tapiture, who is a very nice horse. He won the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile a number of years ago at Santa Anita out of a Sydney's Candy mare, who Sydney's Candy, of course, my favorite horse I ever walked. He won the Santa Anita Derby. So there's a lot of route pedigree here. I think she'll really like routing. I don't think it'll be a problem for her. I just lean towards horses with experience in the route game like Cantek. She's 3-year-old filly here, facing Older, has never routed before. So there are certain things that she's a little bit behind the 8 ball in that respect. But she won for fun last time by 3, could have won by more, getting better every race. She's a runner at these levels, and I do not think she's going to be embarrassed at all. I think she will run very well today.
Yeah, Tammy Hornsby Barn going to Prairie Meadows at the conclusion of this meet. So I'm interested to see if they put Caliente Star on the shelf and wait to bring her back against Arkansas Breds next meet, or if she is going to go to Prairie Meadows and face Open Company for the first time. So definitely keep an eye out. You can have your own stable in Equibase, so that's fun to watch. But yeah, Caliente Star looking to defend her undefeated record. So a very cool Natural State Breeders' Stakes. And Street Strategy Sire, well represented as well with 3 runners in the field, and was just recently named 2024 Arkansas Sire of the Year.
Well done.
So yeah, who stands just not far here at Cedar Run Farm. The 10th and final is for Arkansas bred 3-year-olds and up. Maiden claiming $50,000 is the purchase price, and they will go 3/4 of a mile in distance. Do have a scratch of the number 9 Red River, but Matt, you and I landing on the morning line favorite Tiz Marcus from the barn of Chris Hartman.
We are. Tiz Marcus. I just think this horse has been running against tougher, and the fact of the matter is now he's facing an easier group. And it's funny because when I looked at this horse run his first couple races, I'm like, this horse would love a mile. He'd love to go a little bit farther, and the pedigree suggests that. But sometimes it's hard to find these mile maiden special weight Archie bred races here. A lot of more sprint races in maiden conditions. So with that in mind, he sort of had to stay sprinting. In for 50 today. I think Chris Hartman saying, look, we bought this horse for $10,000. He's made a lot more than that already. Let's drop him one tad here, one drop, just to try to get a win here. If somebody claims him for 50, we're making plenty of money, and hopefully he can win too with a good pot of $60,000 here in Arkansas. So I don't see this drop as a problem at all. I think they're trying to face just a little bit easier in the sprint game here. Tiz Marcus seems like the right pick.
Yeah, certainly the one to beat, and I stand corrected. This is actually my long shot play of the day. I'm going to go with Ernie Witt, the number 8, Lord Hennessy, Francisco Arrieta in the irons. The other speed in the group is just to his outside, but he certainly has loads of natural speed. I think he is the quickest of the quick and is getting closer to the winner circles despite stepping up in class in last start to face Maiden 40. So if we can hang on and not get tired in the lane, I think Lord Hennessy could definitely give him a run for their money.
And he's got speed. He's going to be using it. And, he hasn't been able to hang on his last couple of starts, but sometimes horses, they run a couple times, and then third time out, they're really at their best.
They kind of figured out that light goes on.
For sure. And I will say, Oink, number 1 in this race, he's the top 5 most, I hate to say it, but probably oddest names I've called with a horse.
I think that's.
And I know
what
the
are some of the
one.
others?
But probably at Golden Gate, there was a horse named Gunga Gunga Galunga that ran. That is from Caddyshack, an old man. I forgot exactly who he was, what character it was, but he was on his deathbed, and the last thing he says is Gunga Gunga Galunga, and then he died.
It was in Caddyshack?
I think it was Caddyshack or another golf movie.
Okay.
So Ed Moger, who's a trainer in Kentucky, he was in California for a long time. His brother Steve owns a bunch of horses, and names a bunch of horses references from that movie.
I love that.
Gunga Gunga Galunga. That's the top. Yeah, for sure.
And was that at Golden Gate?
Golden
Gate. Okay, well that's pretty good. Gunga Gunga Galunga. That's a tongue twister. Say that 3 times fast. Sure. Was it a sprinter or a router?
He was like a maiden claiming sprinter, and then he ended up winning a race. Yeah, so he ran 4 or 5 times, so I got to know him pretty well.
That's a great question to ask track announcers. What's the most bizarre horse name you've ever called?
For sure.
Because they certainly remember it, like Gunga Gunga Galunga.
There is one. I don't even know if I should say it on the air. That's
Well, you can tell me off air, and then I'll
Okay.
tell you that one of the funniest names I've ever seen that I won't say on
Okay.
air either. The Jockey Club might sometimes let a few names slip through.
yeah. This
yeah.
one did. They did let slip.
In addition to our 10 race selections, we have put together a $20 show bet bonus parlay ticket, our long shot, and our top pick, which is sponsored by Oaklawn Anywhere. Matt's going to start in race 6 and go races 6, 8, 9, 10 with his show bet bonus parlay, while I'm going to go races 3, 4, 6, and 9. Long shot play of the day for Matt is Hey Yeah, Look at Me in the second, while I go to the nightcap with Lord Hennessy for the barn of Ernie Witt. Top pick, sponsored by Oaklawn Anywhere. Ingrid Mason for me in the 5th with Baby Gundon, while Matt goes to the Randy Morse contender looking to defend her title in the Natural State Breeders with the number 6 Cantex in race number 9. Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday. It's been an absolutely amazing weekend. Live racing returns on Thursday with a 12:30 post. We have stakes all next week, and please make plans to come out for closing day to watch and wager on the Kentucky Derby, but have a fantastic time. So much going on, and it's going to be a beautiful day as well. Any big plans for the off days this week?
We got a golf session tomorrow,
Nice.
Monday, and really clear the mind before it's time to start packing and getting ready
That
for
is
the
right.
leave. So it's a bittersweet time. We're so excited towards the end of the meet because there's many races, a
Yeah.
lot of fun races, but it's the end of the meeting, and we both love it here, and everybody else loves it here. So
Well, fortunately, I get to stay.
Yes.
You got to go, but
Yeah.
fortunately, you get to come back.
we'll both be by bodies of water.
Yes, we will both be yours much larger and scarier. So without further ado, thank you for joining us on this Sunday edition of Oaklawn Today. For Matt Dinnerman, I'm Nancy Holthus. Good luck and good racing.
this feeling down deep in my soul that I just can't lose. Guess I'm on my way. Needing a friend, and the way I feel now, I guess I'll be with you till the end. Guess I'm on my way. Mighty glad you stayed. I'm stuck on you. I've been a fool too long. I guess it's time for me to come on home. Guess I'm on my way. So hard to see that a woman like you could wait around for a man like me. Guess I'm on my way. Mighty glad you stayed. Troubles and I throw them all away. 'Cause this time, little darling, I'm coming home to stay. I'm stuck on you. I've got this feeling down deep in my soul that I just can't lose. Guess I'm on my way. Needed a friend, and the way I feel now, I guess I'll be with you till the end. Yes, I'm on my way. I'm mighty glad you stayed.
I've never been closer. I tried to understand that certain feeling carved by another's hand. Oh, but it's too late to hesitate. We can't keep on living like this.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching and wagering on Oaklawn Park. Folks, without further ado, we now ask you to please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our nation's anthem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can now get out your pens, pencils, and programs because we now have today's changes. Here they come. Our track condition listed as muddy today, partly sunny skies, 70 degrees currently, and southeast winds coming in at 5 miles an hour. Again, our track condition listed as muddy. Here come the changes on a 10-race card. In the first race on the program today, scratch number 2, Pepper's Girlfriend. Number 2, Pepper's Girlfriend, scratched out of race number 1. In the second race, we begin the early pick 4 wager. Number 1, Rewire, has been withdrawn. Scratch number 1, Rewire, from the second race. Also in the second race, number 3, Naderade, is 1 pound overweight. 4, Clear Echo, 2 pounds overweight. 6, Hey, Look at Me, 2 pounds over. 10, 2222, 3 pounds over. In the third race on the program, we're clear. No changes in race number 3. In the fourth race on the program, scratch number 5, T-Burns. Number 5, T-Burns, scratched out of race number 4. In the fifth race on the card, we have a scratch there. Number 3, Saranac Lake, has been withdrawn. Take out number 3, Saranac Lake, from the fifth race. Will not run. Number 9, It's 50 Shade Time, in race 5, is 3 pounds overweight. The sixth race starts the late pick 5 wager. We're clear. No changes in race number 6. In the seventh race today, the rail horse number 1, Reachin' for Rainbows, is scratched. Scratch number 1 in race 7. Also in the seventh race, number 4, Kernon, is 4 pounds overweight. 7, Mazarn, 3 pounds over. 11, Y City, 3 pounds over as well. In the eighth race on the program, number 5, Joe Willie, is scratched. Scratch number 5, Joe Willie, in race number 8 today. The ninth race is our feature race, the fourth running of the $150,000 Natural State Breeders' Stakes. The fourth running for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, going a mile. Scratch number 1, Benny K and Susie 2, and scratch number 3, She's a Dreamer. Numbers 1 and 3, both out of race number 9, the Natural State Breeders' Stakes. The last race is race number 10 today. In the finale, scratch number 9, Red River. Number 9, Red River, scratched out of race 10. Those are all the changes, ladies and gentlemen. 26 minutes until the opener. Enjoy your afternoon watching and wagering on Oaklawn Park, where the sun always shines.
My name's Tyler Bacon, and I'm from Crow Agency, Montana, and I'm 17 years old. I grew up on the Crow Indian Reservation. It's not a very big town. It's a little town with about 2 gas stations, so I'm not really much of a big city guy. When I was younger, my Uncle Cody, he owned Indian relay horses, so I was around horses my entire life. Probably like 6, started riding ponies around with my friends, like around town on the reservation. They had little fairs, and on the weekends they run horses and Indian relays. The reservation I'm from, it has a little racetrack. I think it's about 6 furlongs maybe, but that's where I rode my first gate race, actually. A couple days after I turned 16, that's right when I got my license, so it wasn't very long. As soon as I got to the track, they entered me up on some horses, and I galloped a few, worked a few out of the gate, and that was about it. When I first started riding in Fauner Park, my first win, that horse pretty much drug me around the track.
Southwestern Hope is trying to get home in the Fauner 6 and will get the job done.
I didn't whip him or nothing. I just guided him around there, and he took me to the winner's circle.
Congratulations to jockey T.W. Bacon on his first career win.
After Fauner, I went to Iowa and Prairie Meadows, started riding there, and my agent, Brian, he got a hold of me and he told me about Oaklawn, so that's when I came here and decided to ride here. I've had a lot of people that helped me out, like D. Wayne Lucas, Christian Torres, they've all been helping me out a lot. Every jockey wants to win the Kentucky Derby, so I think that'll be very cool. That's probably one of the races that I want to win.
At the Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance, we believe in giving every thoroughbred a second chance.
And thanks to you, the owners, trainers, breeders, and every supporter,
you've created a ripple effect of change that's helping these magnificent animals move on to new careers and safe, fulfilling lives after racing.
Every single donation, whether big or small, is contributing to a brighter future.
But this race is just beginning. Because of you, we have gained incredible momentum and we're ready for more.